god, you're in a band? That's so cool. What do you play? Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be talking about my band. Not so much about being trans, although there might be a little bit of that, because I'm trans and it's part of every aspect of my life. But like I said, I'll be talking about my band and like the local music scene around here and house shows, just because I like talking about it and it's a big part of my life. Yeah, I live in Columbus, and there is an awesome music scene here. It is so cool. And particularly, there's a really cool DIY scene. And if you don't know, I'll briefly describe what like a DIY show or a house show, they basically refer to the same thing. But as you can imagine, it is a do-it-yourself show put on at somebody's house, like for live music. Usually, it will be like one or a few bands playing with their own equipment or with the house's equipment, like in somebody's living room or basement or backyard. And around here, I mean, it might be different in like other cities or like parts of cities, but since we're like near a college here, the vibe is basically like a college party, but centered around music, centered around the bands playing their sets. And it's really fun. It's basically the only kind of party I go to anymore. You can imagine, like, and I've been to so many of these too, I couldn't even count, but you can imagine, like, 50, 20-year-olds, like, packed into, like, some dingy basement, and then up at the front, there's, like, a few people, like, just shredding out, like, some crazy rock music, or, like, funk music, or, like, any kind, I don't know, there's, like, cool music around here. It can be kind of funky, kind of, like, heavy, kind of punky, kind of alternative, kind of poppy and dancey sometimes. We have, like, a pretty good mix, although it is definitely, like, centered around rock. But yeah, anyway, like, just jamming out at the, like, back of the basement, and, you know, then the crowd, there's, like, gotta be, like, dozens of kids just packed into like this basement, just shoulder to shoulder, all bumping up against each other, jumping around, dancing, moshing, cheering, and like it can get like hot and sweaty and like chaotic and violent, not in like fighting kind of way, but like moshing can be like intense, like yeah, I've definitely like bumped my head once or twice, got my toes stepped on because I always wear sandals, you know. So it can get pretty intense, but it's a lot of fun, seriously. And the kind of people at these parties is like, it's not like a frat party, you know, like, I don't go to frat parties, that's for sure. I go to house shows. And like the kind of people here that go to house shows are always so chill. You know, it's like music kids and queer kids and like art kids and like alternative styles and stuff. It's like, always very like interesting people at these shows, at these kind of parties. It's like my favorite place to meet people is around the music scene, for sure. And there's also bar shows. Yeah, I call them house shows and bar shows. I don't know, there's not a technical term, but a show at a bar, essentially. We have lots of bars around here that are like specifically catered to like essentially being music venue bars, like where half the bar is like a stage. And then like an area to like watch the band play. So we have things like the Summit, Ace of Cups, Roomba Cafe, Cafe Kerouac, and the shows there are like usually a little bit calmer. They'll happen on the weekdays first of all, and they tend to draw less people, but the bands also get paid, which is nice. So personally, I prefer house shows just because of like the chaotic party atmosphere, because, you know, I love to party, but they're both cool. They both have like their own merits, and usually if like a out-of-town band is coming, I mean, unless they're like a super local band from like the next city over, from like Athens or Cincinnati or Cleveland or something like that, if they're like an out-of-state band that's like going on a tour, or just like, you know, coming to like play like an official show in Columbus, they'll probably go to like an actual venue, like a bar show, so you can see some cool stuff, like actually like on stage that you like pay for a ticket for at those sometimes. I don't want to discount them too much because, you know, there's cool things happening there, but my heart truly lies at the DIY house shows, crammed into a dingy little basement, shoulder to shoulder with 50 other kids, like moshing my heart out. So much fun. So yeah, I've been going to those kind of shows for years, and just earlier this summer, I finally put together the like executive functioning skills to like actually organize a band with my friends, and we've played a few shows now, and we've actually got one happening tomorrow, and I'm so excited. We've been practicing a bunch, and I have to say, performing is the most fun thing ever, and I'm not even that good at it yet, but it is just so thrilling. Like, I love being up there, like seeing the crowd like jumping and dancing and cheering to like my music that I like worked so hard on and like am so passionate about. And I love collaborating with my band and like writing songs together and just like making music happen. It's so fun, and I love attention, I must say. I mean, hello, here I am, like in my YouTube channel. So I love the attention that I get from being up on stage and then coming down afterwards and having everybody like be, oh, that was such a good set, or like, oh my god, your outfit is so cute, or just complimenting me about how cool I am, essentially. Oh my god, I love it. It feels so good. Yeah, so that has got to be my favorite part of living in Columbus, is that we have such a killer music scene, and there's so many other musicians to like collaborate with and jam with all the time. Like, and I've made so many good friends by doing that and just like meeting people, even if they don't play anything. There's just a lot of cool people to meet around here. So I think that I'm really gonna miss that when I leave Columbus. But I really hope that I can find something like that in other places of the world, in other parts of the world, in other cities. Like, I'd like to move to Taiwan after I graduate, like go to Taipei probably. I hope that they have like a cool killer music scene in Taipei. I mean, I'm sure they do. I know lots of cool bands coming out of Taipei, but like, do they have house shows? Do they have DIY shows? Is everything in a bar? Because, you know, it's kind of like Columbus is a very like classic like Midwestern like single family home oriented kind of like that's just like the kind of development that the city has, is that there's not like a bunch of like high-rise apartment buildings, you know. It's like a lot of single family homes or like houses that are like big enough for like a group of college students to rent. But there's like essentially like a lot of houses that have like the space and the like noise buffer and distance between other houses to be like doing band practice in and to like be putting these shows on in. I don't think it's like that in like other parts of the world that I want to live in. Like when I move to Taipei, I think that it'll be more like high-rise apartment buildings, and there won't be like houses, like a lot of individual houses that like have like the capacity and like the distance from your neighbors to be doing like loud music like that. So I just don't know what it's gonna be like when I leave Columbus, but I'm sure that there'll be some kind of music scene happening, and they like have their own solution to it, I'm sure, and I can't wait to just make a band, like to make a new band. I mean, I like my current band, don't get me wrong, but I think that this is gonna be such a cool way to like meet people all over the world. Like when I travel around the world and like live in different places, I feel like I can always make friends no matter where I go, is because I just have to like find like the nearest like live music show of like a local band, and then just talk to people. They're like, hey, your set was great, like that's so cool. Oh, I can hear this influence, and I really like your outfits that you put together, and hey, do you want to jam sometime? You know, I feel like it'll be so easy for me to make friends by doing that kind of thing. Yeah, I love music. Oh my god, okay, I was about to end this video, but I've got one funny little anecdote. A couple years ago, one time, I had my, I was in a club for like Chinese like speaking Chinese, practicing like Mandarin, and one time this like group of exchange students, they weren't even exchange students, they were like studying abroad for just like a month or something in America, and they were all from China, and they visited Ohio State, and I volunteered to like take them to like chaperone them to like a local co-op for food, and they were just like doing some like volunteer work like at this produce place where you could get like free vegetables. Anyway, the point is, I was just like chaperoning them on their little field trip thing, and I like made friends with a couple of them, you know, just trying to be outgoing and stuff and be friendly. And there was a show happening that night, or maybe a couple nights later. And once I made friends with some of them, I was like, hey, you guys should come to the show. And they had definitely never seen anything like that before. None of them were into music, and I don't even know if they have that kind of shit where they're from. But a couple of them, I think it was 3 students that like actually kind of became friends with me while I was chaperoning them, ended up coming to the show, and I like tried to offer them to smoke weed at first, and they were like, no, that's illegal, sorry, we don't want to do that. I'm like, okay, well, have a beer then, I guess. And they accepted that one. And then I took them to the show, and they were so confused. They didn't have any idea what was going on, but they were having fun, I think. They just kind of like followed me around like little ducklings the whole time, though. It was like I was still their chaperone on a field trip. Like this party I was taking them to was part of their field trip. I was like, I didn't tell them this, but I was thinking, this isn't a field trip, this is a party. Go have fun, guys. Don't follow me around. Like, go enjoy the music. And, it wasn't that bad, and I think they did enjoy themselves, and I didn't mind it too much, but I just thought it was funny. Yeah, and then once they left, they were like, they sent me a message, like, thank you for, like, showing us your music-based lifestyle. It's so fascinating. And I was like, yeah, no problem. Like, listen to some of these cool songs and learn more about music. And I think that, like, one of the girls that was there, like, actually developed a crush on me a little bit, and she, like, kept texting me every now and then for, like, a month or 2 after she went back to China. That was cute. Yeah. Okay, that's my little anecdote. I'm gonna wrap the video up here. It's been 12 minutes already, so thank you for watching. I'll throw in one more anecdote before I end the video, because I wanted to mention something about being trans in this. The other really cool part about the music scene is that it's really queer. Like, what I was saying earlier, you can meet all kinds of cool people in the music scene and like at house shows and stuff. They're all fucking gay. Like, if I want to find like a cute lesbian to flirt with, then that's where I go, is to a house show, because all those bitches are gay. I don't know how to tell you, but yeah, it's like a very like inclusive space, and like especially with how young everybody is, these Zoomers are gay, no doubt. And that's also where I've met like all of my like trans feminine friends. I don't know where else I would meet people in Columbus that are in the like trans community, like an actual community around here. But the music scene is exactly that. The music scene is my community, and it's like a queer community, and like I meet other queer people and other trans people there, and that's been really valuable for me. I was going to these shows and like engaging in the scene way before I even knew I was queer or trans, but once I did find that out about myself over the pandemic, in quarantine, I like transitioned and then started going to shows again once I got the vaccine, and then I suddenly realized like this was right in front of me the whole time. Like, look at all these fucking gay people here. And there was my community that I was like hoping to find. So yeah, that's been a really nice part about it. Okay, I'm actually gonna end the video here now. Thank you again for watching, and like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. Bye!